I genuinely can't believe I actually did this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new video. This is probably the most expensive and biggest Lego set I have ever purchased in my 20 years of life. What set could it possibly be? Let's reveal it, shall we? Here we go. So this is the UCS Republic Venator Star Destroyer. I can safely say this has been the most expensive set I have purchased. So if you guys are just as excited as I am to see the sets, you know what to do. Do the goods, give this video a like, and subscribe to the channel because I would love to make money back off this video to pay off this set. Because $700 is still a lot of money. Right, let's get this thing open.
12 seconds later.
Oh, I see it. Oh, man. Oh my God. The inner child in me would have been dreaming of getting a set like this. But it looks like my box here has a bit of dings. So, this set has 5,374 pieces, as you can see. And the set number is 75367. But I love the angles of the photos of the Venator that the box is showing off here. It looks very spectacular. And here is the other side. Obviously the back side has all the activity going on. So, what do we have on the back side? Let's get a zoom in. So, we have the dimensions of this model labeled onto the back. My only concern right now is where am I gonna put this in the house when it's done? Because I frankly got no clue. But this is also where you can see the Captain Rex and Yularen, because they're actually not at the front, as well as the info and all that. And then we have some good screenshots of the Venator from the Clone Wars. Most of these are all from the Clone Wars. Yeah, now obviously these appeared in Revenge of the Sith, but all these I see here, they're all taken from the Clone Wars. This is like the opening shot of Revenge of the Sith when you see Kenobi and Skywalker's Jedi Starfighters fly over it and descend into the Battle of Coruscant. The best part is the bottom. So all 6 sides of the box are labeled and detailed. Right, on with the unboxing. Let's do this. This is like opening the vault and all the loot inside is mine. Here we go. And okay, there's 2 whole boxes within this box. After a bit of struggle, here are the 2 boxes. So, box number 1, box number 2. So 2 boxes within the big box. Here's an image from Revenge of the Sith. Of course, from the Battle of Coruscant. You can see there's Obi-Wan's ship. So here's that Coruscant battle. You can see that is the part of the first shot when Obi-Wan and Anakin descend from the Venator straight into the battle. Going back to the very, very beginning, here it is, the very first opening shot. All right. Oh, instantly right off the bat, the pieces are falling out. But now, let's take a look at the instructions. Even for a $850 set, there are still stickers. Every Lego builder's worst nightmare. A partial reason for the existence of this set is the celebration of 20 years of the Clone Wars. So 20 years since the first movie came out. So pause the video right now to read it fully because we gotta fly through this as quickly as possible. So there is the designer. A historical context, recreate the Venator and turn it into this very set. And then here's just some photos of, I guess these are the 2 designers who made this set. And then there is the context of it. You're supposed to hold it by the bottom. Do not hold it end to end. I guess that makes sense because it will very much risk it just folding in on itself. All right, here is box number 2. Okay, so after searching through all the bags, I initially thought that you go up to bag 45. 45 was gonna be the last bag, but the actual number of bags is bag 48. Okay, there are no stickers in this box, so the only stickers were in the first box. There you go. Captain Rex and Yularen, the minifigs come at the very, very end. That being said, that is the entire unboxing of the set. I will see you when the model is fully complete and we are ready to review it. I'll see you then. And it is done. It is massive. Let me get this right out of the bat. This model is huge. Let's get right into this ship. Right, so there's no exact proper way I'm going to be able to do this given the size of this thing, so I'm gonna have to resort to the handheld method. You best hope my hands aren't super shaky when we do this. There's no play features. This thing is strictly for displaying. You buy this model for display. The design of Venators is that there are indeed 2 bridges on the top rather than just one, which was then changed for the Imperial Star Destroyers. Stickers were used as you saw from the unboxing, so this is where the stickers ended up. Some here, some here, some here. So it's not too much. It would have been nice if it was like printed pieces. The overall weight of it, I know it's kind of hard to depict it on camera, but I can tell you right now, it is quite a heavy beast. It is a very heavy thing. So the way this thing is displayed is by these 2 stands. And the way they tell you to hold it is actually by holding the 2 stands to ensure it doesn't collapse when you're moving it. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up well, but if you can see, right over there is like a little entrance for the hangar for all the ships to come out. The same thing can be said on the side here, which there is a gunship on the other side. I will look at the other side after this, but I like the stands here. It makes the Star Destroyer actually stand out like it is floating in space. I like that. Rather than having it very close to the ground, it does have some points of elevation, and I think it is smart to give it some elevation, to say the least. You have red and you have gray as the main color schemes, so I like Lego is very consistent with it, quite accurate what the design actually looks like in the lore. So needless to say, they've done a pretty good job at it. Now I'm trying to zoom in to get you guys some closer looks because you can see all the different pieces used for the details of this thing. It is no brainer. The designers really put their heart and soul into this, and they really took their time to use as much different unique pieces as possible, and it really worked out well, as you can see here. Traditionally, you could open the top of the Star Destroyer in the actual source material. The top would open up and the ships would fly out from here, the starships, like the Republic gunships, fighters, you know, you name them. They can come out through the top. So there's actually multiple entrance points for the Star Destroyer. It does have some laser cannons, not the most detailed as you can see, but they do have some for display here, and they have like 2 main ones on the side. Unfortunately, there's no front cannons because we do know the Star Destroyers can fire from the front. And many of the battles, when the Republic was on the offensive, the Venators would be shooting this way. So unfortunately, there are no front cannons included, but I think it's okay. You can technically say you can turn these cannons around and just have them shoot forward, but these are to combat obviously when it goes side to side with separatist dreadnoughts. There is transparent blue pieces being used here, and I think they've nailed it. The designers really nailed it with the design here. You can see it adds, I guess it adds like light, if you will. The blue is kind of like the windows, if you will, for like the Star Destroyer. So I think it's depicted quite nicely with minimal pieces, and there is a good mix of red and dark gray up here, as well as some of the building patterns. Moreover, let's look at the back, because I personally think the back here has a lot of action going on. So let me show you. So as you can see, this is the back. This is where all of its engines are, its main ion engines, and this looks spectacular. just by looking at this from the back, you can see there's a lot going on here. And they really nailed it. The main is probably here. I think this is like the hyperdrive part of it, so the Venator can actually travel through hyperspace. And there is stickers back here as well, so they've done a pretty good job of that. Like, a common problem with Lego sets is that Lego puts all their efforts onto the front side or the side to make the set look nice, but then on the back it looks whole, empty, and not that pleasant to look at. They just don't regard the back and don't put a lot of effort into it. For this one, especially for the price you pay for it, they made sure every last bit of the ship is detailed. And they have done very, very well with that here. So the back, usually a neglected part of a model, they did not skip a beat here. This looks fantastic. I think the Technic pieces here is executed very well, and it does make it very, very heavy. Like, most of the weight from the back of the ship is mainly from the bridge as well as the ion engines back here. So yeah, I wish I could honestly go on way more about it, but as I said, it is really just a display model. But there are some things on the other side I do want to show, so let me turn this thing around. Right, here is the other side flipped over. So now, one thing I didn't really go over is the front. As I mentioned, all sides of the ship looks fantastic. The front, the back, the sides. More pieces are being used to, I guess just give texture to the ship, especially through the middle part. Here you can see all sorts of stuff, including what I like to call the Sensei Wu bamboo bars and some other like light gray mixed pieces, which I think is pretty good. We also have that turbo laser cannon, which I'm not gonna lie, is not really my particular favorite. It kind of just sticks out, and it's not like you can adjust it. So it just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, and I don't know, to me, it could have been done a little bit better. I feel like they just got a little bit lazy on this part. As for the side entrance here, you can see there is a very micro model of a Republic gunship, just to give you a sense of the scale on how big these Star Destroyers actually are. And you know the UCS gunship is absolutely massive, so now if you take this up to scale, imagine this little micro build as the UCS gunship. Yeah, so I honestly wish I could talk a lot more about this, but you know what I'm gonna say. Said it many times, it's a display model, so all I could really talk about is the aesthetics of it. For the price that I paid for it, I would say it definitely looks spot on. I can see why many Star Wars fans are happy with this set. I am too. I think if there was some play features that could have been added, I would say maybe just do a feature where you can open the hangar doors. I think that would elevate it just a little bit. I know you can't really fit anything in it, but technically speaking, you could put some of the minifigures in the hangar. I think it's safe to say we can move on and take a look at the other parts, being the information stand and the two minifigures. Right, let us take a look at this information stand. Obviously, here's the information plaque for the Star Destroyer itself. It's a simple plate. It is not a sticker. I repeat, it is not a sticker. It is a printed piece, which is quite ironic. And the way it is built, very simple, just like that. It's on an angle, so you can kind of see it. And then, as a bonus, on the side, there is a stamp. We'll call it a stamp to celebrate 20 years of the Clone Wars show. I love the Phase 1 helmet on there, and it just looks clean. It looks fantastic. And yes, it is also a printed piece. No stickers, no stickers. Now that's pretty much it. And then the remaining space on the side is just for Rex and Yularen, which we will take a much closer look into. But overall, simple stand like this to put in front of the Venator Star Destroyer itself. It is time for my personal thing of this set, the two minifigures. If you look at what Yularen actually looks like in the show, his hair is a bit different. But then again, Lego also messed up on Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's hair. If you don't label him as Yularen, I am 80% sure some people may just see him as some random Republic officer or some random Republic admiral, so it may be hard to identify it's Yularen at first. But to be fair, it does look pretty solid. I do like the leg print that made the lower bit of it black, so he's got the double print on it. I have a feeling this figure is going to be overlooked because it's right next to the Captain Rex, and I think a lot of people are going to be caring a lot more about the Captain Rex, way more than this. But we have to give Yularen a chance in the spotlight. Like, come on, he is a great character. He's the narrator for the Clone Wars shows. You can't go wrong with him. So yeah, that is Admiral Yularen. I almost forgot to show you, he does have a secondary face. Not bad. Alright, now for everyone's favorite clone trooper, Captain Rex. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had a feeling LEGO was gonna bring him back regardless, because last year they put out the helmets and we had Cody and Rex. So it was a sign that they were gonna do something with the clones. And this obviously isn't the first Captain Rex. We did get a older Captain Rex from an old Clone Wars set that used to cost only 40 Canadian dollars back in the day. Boy, I wish I picked it up, because now that set is worth over $600 if you want to buy it on eBay. May I remind you, this minifigure is in an $850 LEGO set. So if you want to buy this separately, you're gonna have to pay a pretty hefty price to get it. So this is gonna be one of the rarest clones, and rightfully so. Like, we had so much 501st clones, we had Captain Vaughn and the Battle Pack, which is great, but we need the leader. And we obviously got Ahsoka, which is funny enough, Ahsoka came in cheaper sets. So Captain Rex is really, really going to be a holy grail. And LEGO has done a good job with this one for sure. It's very close to the original, which yes, I do have it, which we will momentarily do a comparison of. But I love this minifigure right off the bat. I know I said let's give Yularen the spotlight, but come on. It's Captain Rex. Shoulder pauldron piece. Unfortunately, it's not actual armor, it's just a cape piece. That is the one letdown, I will have to say, because obviously it is actually part of his armor. But I guess LEGO couldn't do that, which I guess I can let him slide for that. But other than that, the helmet and everything else looks absolutely fantastic on him. This is such a good figure, and I can't ask for more for a modern Captain Rex minifigure. And here we have his helmet off. You can see his face here, his bald head. He is bald, so it works. He doesn't need extra hair. You can also see there is a band-aid on his forehead to indicate that this was after his inhibitor chip was removed. You know how I mentioned the original Captain Rex and how I have it? Well, we are now going to do a former comparison here. So it's not entirely accurate to the last piece. I did buy this off a toy show, paid a little bit too much money for it, so it is secondhand. But you can see the comparison. I would say what the old one did well is the waist armor. I don't want to say skirt, but it's like the waist thing that he wears, which he does have, and the ARC Troopers have it too. That is something the new one is lacking. So I can say the old one is superior for this part. You can also see the pauldron is also still a cloth. It's just gray. Maybe that's just this one that I have. The helmet looks significantly different. Obviously, he's supposed to have the antenna like radio piece. It was not included when I bought this, and I didn't have an extra one. So maybe I'll add it eventually. But you can get the idea. But there you go. And you can see he had a much different face. He had a much different face. At least he had a beard, a pretty patchy beard to say the least. But yes, the old and the new are good. I'm not gonna lie, there are some strengths to the old one, and there are some strengths to the new one. And there are some things I wish, looking at both of them, there are some things I wish for the new one to also have, especially the piece. However, one thing I will definitely compliment the new one for is the arms. You can see for the old one, the arms is just pure blue. Whoops. And then there are actual details for the new one here. But that's not all the comparing I'm just gonna do. We have some other clones, mostly the clone commanders I want to bring out. So this is the Cody that released in 2022. So that was last year's summer with that ATTE set. And well, it's not that far behind. Like both clone commanders came out a year apart. And you can see Cody, obviously he's a commander, he's a bit different from Rex, but we have seen the two of them pair up a lot, so there you go. A proper comparison of the two side by side. Next up, we have everyone's favorite clone commander. Everyone loves this clone, right? So good. He's such a good clone. He has done so much for the Republic. He totally didn't kill off one of our favorite characters. Anyways, I digress. This is Fox, and he was in the Coruscant Guard ship that just came out earlier this month, 1st of October. So very, very recent. So Fox and Rex here are both very recent. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Fox does have some things I wish also was in the minifigure. Like, for example, Fox also had the waist armor, which he doesn't have here. If anything, Rex looks way more detailed than him here. Last but definitely not the least, I don't think they've met. Maybe they have, but just not on screen. We have Commander Gree here, commander of Yoda's battalion. So, yeah, I mean, Gree doesn't have a lot going on. He's a pretty simple armor layout. Rex is obviously a lot more detailed here, but I thought it would be cool to see the two of them side by side. If not on the official screen, let's see them as Lego minifigures side by side. I actually want to try adding them with the rest of my 501st clones just to get that battalion feel. But that is Captain Rex, everybody. Let's wrap up this review. For a hefty price of 850 Canadian dollars, is it worth it? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Just know that this is not a play set. This is strictly a set that you build for displaying, for the wow factor. There's zero play features as you saw just now. But if you have at least $1,000 to spare, perhaps you can pick up this set. And I definitely think for big Star Wars collectors who already spent a lot of money on buying Star Wars sets, or other Star Wars products, this is a wonderful must-have addition to the collection. The only critique I would give it is perhaps maybe for the price I'm already paying for this set, maybe have a couple more minifigures. It doesn't hurt to have maybe a couple more 501st clones, Anakin, just like sprinkle in a little more minifigures and instead of just having two, especially for the price of the set. I was kind of a little bit let down by it. You can very well make Rex and Yularen the exclusives. You can only get them via the set. Sure, but maybe include a little bit more minifigures. I get you can't necessarily fit the minifigures in here anyways, because you know this is a display model, but it would still have been nice to get maybe a handful of more minifigures. It really makes you feel better as you're about to tap your credit card with that guilt of dropping that much money on this set. So, out of 10, what do I give it overall? I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. It is very solid. It makes the older models obviously look a lot worse. Just dedicate space and dedicate a good budget if you want to buy this set. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been very fun to make. I took my sweet time making this, and this is, like, by record, probably the biggest Lego set I've ever reviewed on this channel. And these days, I don't really do much Lego videos, as it is quite evident with the content I've been putting out lately. But if a set has significance and is something I really want to get and show off, I would do it. This, no question, was one of them. So if you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you so much for taking your time watching this video, and we will see you all in the next one. And may the Force be with you. For the Republic!